Greetings, fellow penny pinchers. This is Pinch Pennies and Passports coming at you today with a brand new video about a topic that we recently discovered we fell for. So we decided what better topic to bring up than one that we recently kind of had this profound aha moment, like, wow, that's a huge mistake that we are making currently. So that is the may as well mentality. So we're going to talk about how may as well might get you in trouble.
Yes. So the example that he's talking about is like we're actively trying to help my dad find a truck. And there is a budget and there are certain specs that he wants on this truck. He's open to a used truck. And before you know it, in our search and in some frustrations with trying to find that right truck, the price has gone up and up and up to the point where I said, may as well just buy a new truck at this point. And it's like, whoa, that is a huge jump in our budget and completely missing the mark on the whole point of taking the time to search for a truck to find something that my dad wants that is in his budget. So this is something that I feel we all encounter. We have a budget, we go into our purchase, ready to stick to that budget, you know what you want, and possibly in frustration or for whatever reason, the next thing you know, you're saying, may as well, and that blows your budget. And you're some kind of way able to mentally justify that expense, that extra expense, all with that phrase of may as well. And so what we wanted to talk about today is what happens what all goes into falling for that pitfall and go into some ways that we can avoid that train of thought. So first off, what happens? What happens is that you lose sight of functionality. So when we're looking at my dad's truck, there are certain features that he absolutely wants and they're functional. But then when you go searching for a truck, now all of a sudden they want to give you Bluetooth and Cirrus and leather seats and all this other junk. And you may as well, because you're in the market for a truck. No, focusing on that functionality is the most important thing. And when we lose sight of that, then we begin to do this justification of the may as well. Another thing is we start giving way to desire. I mean, who doesn't like bells and whistles on their purchases? Who doesn't want to have something nice? But when that nice comes at a huge expense and it's not even what you set out to get at it initially, it's just a waste. And so that's another way how the may as well, can really get the better of you when you allow that desire to really rev up. And next thing you know, you're making a purchase that is way out of the budget. And then the third way that this can sometimes happen for us to fall for the may as well mentality is that we look at the short term instead of the long term effects of that decision. So in this case, to be able to may as well buy a new truck would end up costing my dad thousands of dollars, not to mention the interest in the financing. And so if you only look at it's only a few more $1,000s or it's only a such amount, and you're only looking at it the short term, that's another way that you can fall prey into justifying that may as well mentality when it really is long term, not in your best benefit at all.
Right. So we want to talk about a handful of ways that you can avoid this push to go beyond what your budget is. That's the point of the marketing in general, is to tell you need to buy this more expensive product because it's better, when that's not what you set out for in the first place. If you set out for a budget of $100, the next thing you know, you're spending $500. How many times did you have to say, may as well, I might as well, and next thing you know, you're 5 times in more than you thought you were. So one, just realize the marketing and realize that they're trying to sell you something, and there's a push behind that. They want to drive you into something that's more than what you set out for and what you need. So go in with that mindset that they're gonna try to sell me something I don't need. So avoid that. Be conscious of that. I think number 2 is, as Leslie mentioned, focus on the functionality. Identify what it is that you need, why you need it, what you want out of that purchase, and stick to it. Because Next thing you know, you can say, well, oh, it's got heated seats, it's got a backup camera, it's got Bluetooth, it's got USB, this, that, and the other. And now you've spent thousands, potentially 25, 30, 40, 50% more than you originally set out for. And it can happen easily. And it sounds funny in the moment, but like when you're actually writing checks, that's not funny. I mean,
No, those payments are going to hurt.
Those are real. I mean, and that's a long-term problem to accumulate. And we don't want people to just may as well end up in twice as amount of debt that they were intending. Also, take the emotion out of it. You know, the marketing and the bells and the whistles and the perception of luxury, that's all an emotional thing that wants to make you feel good. Take a step away. Look at the dollars and cents of it. Does it fit the budget that you want? If that's a yes, that might be a good purchase. If it's a no, then maybe you need to walk away. Maybe you need to go find another vehicle. Maybe you need to really reassess what your needs and wants are out of a vehicle and try to better identify something that meets those needs. And, you know, don't finance your purchases. It'll force you into buying something with money you don't have. And this is a topic we've talked about is how financing gets you in so much trouble. If you can't pay for it with the money that you have, if you're not willing to pay for it with the amount of money that you have, then it's probably not a good purchase. If you know, oh, I can afford the monthly payments, but over the long term, when you look at how much those monthly payments are actually costing you, it ends up being an enormous amount that you never would have agreed to in the first place. So be very, very cautious of financing really anything. And if you do finance them for the smallest terms possible to minimize the amount of money you're just throwing away, you're making big banking rich by doing that. So we prefer you to keep your money in your pocket so you can do something with it, so you can invest and change your life with it. With that said, we do have a challenge that we want to talk about.
Yes, we do have a challenge, and that challenge is the mind being more aware, being conscious of the pitfall of may as well. Because we all, if we're honest with ourselves, we all know that we've done this before. We've all justified an emotional purchase. We've justified maybe financing and using that as the reason that we can get a little bit more for the may as well fix. Falling for the marketing. We've all fallen for this. So no judgment if you've done it in the past or if you've recently done it. No judgment. But our challenge is take a moment. Reflect on your purchases in the last month. How many of those purchases were made with the may as well mentality, to where you walked away from that purchase realizing, or maybe not until this moment of reflection, man, I overspent. I justified this purchase with this may as well mentality, and I ended up buying something that I possibly could have saved quite a bit more money than I did. Take the time. That is our challenge. Identify at least 2 instances, 2 purchases that you have made in the past month. If you have to go back a little bit further, do that, where you fell for it. And it's okay, because this reflection is going to allow you to be more aware, become more conscious of your purchasing experiences and behaviors in the future so that you don't fall for it. And keeping this in mind, we feel will give you more power, give you more control, allow you to continue to trim the fat and avoid unnecessary spending so that your money can be allocated to the places in life that you know are going to be more fulfilling, more enriching, and that will align with your long-term goals.
And on that note, this is P3 wishing you the best. Focus on your finances and everything you do. And good luck. Don't forget to follow us, sign up for everything we got, notifications, YouTube, Instagram. Keep following us and hope you soon find financial freedom.
Yes, P3, baby.